February 8, 2008. A beautiful, clear, sunny day. A perfect day to take her up and go cross country. And that's exactly what we did. My friend Detlef was the pilot and I was the dude in the right seat. We were on our return trip to Celle, 1800 feet, clear in a million, everything A-OK. I was taking pictures and some footage when I heard Detlef say, "What was that?" "What was what?" I replied. I didn't catch anything unusual, but I quickly screened the instruments. Everything appeared to be normal, but as it turned out, it was anything else but normal. Approximately 30 seconds later, the RPM dropped to about 2000, and only a few seconds thereafter, the engine started shaking violently. "Cut the engine," I told Detlef, automatically taking over control of the airplane. Being a flight instructor, I used to train this very situation with my students, and now I was the one to prove its feasibility. All of a sudden it was very quiet, and gravity was our propellant from now on. While shooting for best glide speed, I scanned the ground for a suitable landing site. Because the front screen was covered with oil, I had to look out of the side windows. We were lucky. I found a spot and we aimed for it. At the same time, I was calling Bremen information. "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Delta Echo Romeo Bravo Yankee, engine failure, position approximately 8 nautical miles southeast of Diepholz Air Base." Bremen probably got the call, but came back with some kind of question or whatever. "Sorry Bremen, no time for you now." I switched off the radio and noticed that Detlef now switched off the battery and closed the fuel line. Only seconds later, we were on the ground. To make a long story short, the landing was perfect. But when I had to lower the nose onto the ground, due to lack of elevator authority, the nose wheel penetrated the deep wet ground, was bent backwards, and we came to a fairly abrupt stop. Seconds later, Detlef and I shook hands and climbed out of the airplane. And now I noticed that my knees were shaking. A couple of minutes later, a child's birthday party joined. They had seen our landing and came to help. I bet this was quite an adventure for them, as it was for us. In the meantime, I phoned Bremen Radar to tell them we were all okay. They had scrambled a rescue chopper out of Diepholz for assistance. I could hear the chopper in the background, just barely, and guided the pilot via cell phone and Bremen information to our landing site. When we checked for the reason of our engine problems, we found out that the crankshaft was broken. If we hadn't cut the engine immediately, only split seconds later, the prop would have come loose and might have caused severe damage to our airplane or the property or people on the ground. Boy, were we lucky. A couple of hours later, we were picked up by 2 good friends from our flying club and headed home by car. Oh, by the way, the story is not over yet. Because the terrain was so wet and deep, recovery was not possible using a crane or a truck. So the next day, a chopper was used to take our plane to the nearest repair installation. Only a few minutes into the flight, unfortunately, our plane began to uncontrollably swing forth and back, and the chopper pilot had only one choice. Here you see the result. Hey, I hope for you and for me that we don't have to experience such an event ever again. Hope you enjoyed this report. My name is Frank. Thanks for watching.